India's youth story today is a powerful paradox, a story of opportunity and anxiety unfolding at the same time. On one hand, India has the world's largest youth population, around 367 million young people between the ages of 15 and 29, a number that could define the country's future. Out of these, nearly 263 million are ready to enter the workforce. This is the kind of demographic advantage that helped countries in East Asia become economic powerhouses. And there's no denying, India has made real progress. Over the past few decades, access to education has expanded dramatically. More young people are going to school, more are entering colleges. And importantly, more women and students from poorer backgrounds are getting opportunities that were once out of reach. India today has a generation that is more educated, more connected, and more aspirational than ever before. But here's where the contradiction begins. Despite these gains, jobs are not keeping up. According to the State of Working India 2026 report by Azim Premji University, nearly 40% of graduates between 15 to 25 years are unemployed. Even in the 25 to 29 age group, about 20% are still jobless. These are not just numbers, they represent millions of young Indians who did everything right. They studied, they earned degrees, they built hopes, but are still waiting for the right opportunity. This is not a new issue. Graduate unemployment has been a persistent problem in India for decades. But today, the scale is much larger. Every year, India produces around 5 million graduates, yet only about 2.8 million find jobs. And even fewer get stable, salaried employment. So what's going wrong? The biggest challenge is what experts call a mismatch between what young people aspire to do and what the economy is actually offering. Many graduates are trained for white-collar, skilled roles, but such jobs are limited. On the other hand, there are jobs available, but often in low-paying, informal, or less secure sectors that many young people are reluctant to take, at least initially. Over time, many do adjust. They take what they can get, often moving into private sector roles, informal work, or family businesses. But that delay, that period of waiting, is where unemployment shows up most sharply. Even when jobs are created, the quality of those jobs raises concerns. India added millions of jobs after the pandemic, but nearly half of them were in agriculture. This sector often suffers from low productivity and hidden unemployment. It means people are working, but not earning enough to significantly improve their lives. Women's employment also reflects this divide. A small section of educated women is entering high-quality jobs in sectors like IT and manufacturing. But a much larger number are engaged in unpaid or home-based work, often out of necessity rather than choice. Then there's the education system itself. Yes, access has improved. Colleges have increased, private institutions have expanded, and enrollment has grown. But quality remains uneven. Many institutions face faculty shortages, and the link between education and actual job skills is still weak. Vocational training has grown, but often without strong connections to industries that can absorb these workers. There are also worrying social trends. More young men are dropping out of education to support their families financially. Many graduates are returning to work in family farms or small businesses, something that earlier was more common among women. Migration has become a survival strategy. Young people from states like Bihar and Uttar Pradesh are moving to states like Tamil Nadu and Karnataka in search of better opportunities. While this helps balance regional disparities, it also highlights how uneven India's job landscape really is. At the heart of the issue lies India's growth model. Unlike countries that built strong manufacturing sectors and created mass employment, India's growth has been driven largely by services, especially skill-intensive sectors like IT. This creates opportunities, but only for a limited segment of the population. The result? A divided job market where some thrive, but many struggle to find their place. And time is running out. India's demographic dividend, this massive youth advantage is not permanent. By 2030, the share of working-age population will begin to decline. The window to fully benefit from this young population is slowly closing. So the big question is no longer just about creating jobs, but creating the right jobs. Jobs that are stable. Jobs that match education with skills. Jobs that provide dignity, security, and growth. Because if India succeeds, this young population can drive decades of economic growth. But if it fails, the same demographic advantage could turn into a demographic challenge. In the end, the future of India's economy depends on one critical factor: whether its millions of young people find not just work, but meaningful work. That is the real test of India's growth story.